So who's on Instagram right now? And I don't know if you could actually hear me because I'm outside. If you can hear me, hello from New York City. And where are you watching this right now? Thought I would do some rapid Q&A and talk a little bit about your wondrous, magnificent brain. Where are you watching right now? And by the way, can you hear me okay? Thumbs up, you can hear me? We can hear me. Thank you. So how's everyone doing? How are you feeling? What's on your mind right now? In Hell's Kitchen. Yeah, I am in New York City. This is actually rush hour New York City. It's wild, right? So wild. So I hope you are well. Just wanted to say hi. I should sleep. Yes, sleep is very good for your brain. Keys for better sleep. What you could see, you want it dark. What you could feel, you want it cold. What you could hear, sounds. Some people get affected by sounds. Keep a good schedule. It's very quiet for New York City on a Friday at 6 o'clock when it is usually insane. So I hope everybody is safe and secure and healthy. You're at Disney? Really? Is Disney open? Tell Brazil here. Yeah, I've spent some good amount of time in Brasilia, Rio, Sao Paulo, Cape, South Africa. Yeah, I was there a few months ago. Beautiful. So how can I help you? I know you listen to my podcast. What I wanted to ask you is, how's your day? What are you doing if you are self-quarantined? How are you making the most out of your day? What are you doing? Madrid, beautiful. Barcelona. Wow, Spain. How's everything in Spain? Peace, everybody. Bye, Panda. Australia. Just did a great podcast with a friend of mine in Sydney today. It's interesting. I was keynote speaking at 20 events the past 30 days and the upcoming 30 days, and they all got canceled. Stockholm, I actually might be there next May, potentially. What's the most important part of your daily routine to maximal efficiency? Well, everybody could just search Jim Kwik morning routine, and I'm pretty thorough about my routine. I believe first you create your habits, then your habits create you, and you create your habits of working out, eating right, meditation, journaling, and those things create you back. In our book, I really break down the secret to creating new habits and breaking old habits. Reading more, listening to podcasts, starting my new morning self-care routine. All right, so I want to review 5 things that you could do right now. Right, 5 practical things you could do right now. How do you become productive when you're stressed out? Yes. Okay, so here's the thing. 5 things to do when you're cocooning. Write these down. This is common sense, but it's not common practice. And what are your thoughts on the situation? Okay, so let's have this conversation right now. Right now, obviously, top priority is your safety, your physical safety, mental, emotional health, and the health of your loved ones. Certain things you can control, certain things you can't control, and I think it's important to know what's going on. I absolutely think it's important to know what's going on so you can make decisions based on that, and also. The thing with your brain, you have part of your brain called the amygdala, and it gets hijacked when it's in threat. And it's hard right now with everything when you're scrolling or you're watching, and everything is centered on fear. And fear serves a purpose. I'm glad to be fearful of. I'm very high up right now. I should be afraid of falling off because that keeps me from doing anything that put me in harm's way. So fear is very useful, and there's a gift in fear. And I also know that there's an algorithm, much like Instagram, in your mind, that what you focus on, like if you like, all the dog and cat videos on Instagram, they start showing you more dog and cat videos. And same thing with your mind. If you focus on what's on the media all the time, and things that can harm us. I'm not saying you should know what's going on, but if you overindulge in it, your brain just starts showing you things that could could hurt you and harm you potentially. But if there's an over challenge, because there's physical hygiene like washing your hands and body, and social distancing, and there's also mental hygiene. How are you keeping your mind straight and managing your mind, your focus in times of turbulence? Whatever's going on right now. Right now I'm in New York City. This is New York City on rush hour. It's so insane. So it's a beautiful day, but there's but it's empty right now. So my goal here for you, my take on this is manage your mind. More than ever, you need to manage your mind. And trying to speak up, because I know I don't use a lot of headphones, so I hope you can hear me okay. But I do want to say to you that we're cocooning, and this metaphor of a butterfly for transformation, I think it's a very appropriate one right now, that we are cocooning, that you are self-isolating, and in this cocoon, you're there alone with your thoughts, you're there with your fears, you're there with your doubts, you're there, maybe you have loneliness. And here's the thing, we're going to come out of this, and the idea here is, what is the story you want to tell when this is over? What's the story, fast forward weeks from now, months from now, years from now, what's the story that you want to tell about this moment of how you're able to handle things? And so we are cocooning, and in the cocoon, it's a phase of life, and we're going through life cycles right now. There are 5 things I would recommend you do while you're cocooning to be able to, so when we do emerge, that we emerge as much of a butterfly as possible, meaning that we have strength, we have the ability to fly and level up. So 5 really quick things. Clarity. Use this time when you're alone for self-reflection. This is a great reset on our life where we can reevaluate our priorities in life, what's most important to us in life, in our relationship, in our career, and also making sure that our actions are aligned with those values, because that's often takes up a lot of energy. I think also clarifying that solitude is a beautiful place for self-reflection and getting to know yourself. So I would say, number 1, clarity. Clarity is power. Use this time to clarify some things in your life and where you're going. Number 2, I would say, is care, meaning self-care. Self-care is not selfish. And again, not just physical hygiene like washing your hands, but mental hygiene. What are you doing for your mind to keep it positive? And just as infectious as a virus is, so is fear, but so is hope, so is kindness, so is compassion, so is love, so is wisdom, and that could spread also as well. And so what I would suggest is self-care in this time of cocooning. Don't use this time to feed your mind just negative stuff all the time. I would avoid, if you want to make progress, binge watching all the shows on Netflix. If that's your prerogative to do, that's absolutely good also, but we can't make excuses also at the same time. Sometimes people tend to have entitlement where they make excuses, and you can't be upset by the results you didn't get, by the actions you didn't take. And use this time intelligently. And so I would use it for clarity. I would use it for self-care for you and your loved ones. Making sure you move and exercise. And I'm just here, with my TRX and just jump rope and moving. And so care for yourself. Because remember how I opened up my book, and many of you have bought Limitless, and thank you. I just announced we're going to do a book club for when the book does come out next month. There's 4 sections of the book, so I'm going to do a week with every section with you online for free. This book, I want to make the most read book of 2020, meaning a lot of people buy. I'm not saying the most bought book, I'm saying the most read book. That's why I give you a 10-day reading memory program just for your pre-order, so when you can get the book, you can read it. But going back to the 5 C's you can do while you're cocooning. I hope you're well in Italy. If you're reading this, please help me. A book club. So I'm going to do a 10-day program on speed reading memory, how to overcome limiting beliefs, how to make you limitless. You get that immediately when you pre-order the book at limitlessbook.com. If someone actually could type limitlessbook.com, I'd love if you could do that. Somebody, I'll pin it. And then so that you get the 10-day program, because I want it to be the most read book out there, and so I'm going to teach you how to read it. And then we're going to do a 4-week book club, 1 week for every section of the book. There are 4 sections in the book. You can get it at limitlessbook.com. Thank you. Limitlessbook.com, and then you'll be announced. We'll tell you when the book club is, and we'll do a week together for every single thing. So here's what we do. When you're cocooning and you want to come out as a butterfly, because we feel like we're in a cocoon, along with our thoughts and our fears and our doubts, use this for clarity for your life. Clarity is power. Use this, as a time to care for yourself and really care for your immune system. Vitamins, vitamin C, vitamin D, all the antioxidants. The reason I'm saying care, mental hygiene, also not just washing your hands, but washing your mind in a form of brainwashing, if you will, is because chronic fear compromises your immune system. It's an area called psychoneuroimmunology, where chronic stress and fear and anxiety suppresses your immune system, makes you more susceptible to colds and flus and viruses. So make sure you care for yourself. Make sure you're getting sleep. Sleep is so important for your immune system, and prioritizing sleep. We've done so many episodes on sleep. In the book, I share my favorite brain and sleep bedtime hacks. Okay, so you have clarity, you have care, create. Third thing you can do while you're in cocoon, if you want to come out stronger and smarter, not only give yourself self-reflection time and clarity, not only care for yourself, but also create. Do you know Shakespeare came out, there was a pandemic during Shakespeare, a big plague during Shakespeare's time. And it was this time of social distancing where he created Macbeth and Arthur, and Cleopatra. It was just an amazing, amazing time of creation. Imagine, Sir Isaac Newton. There was the Great Plague. His university in London was closed down. He was forced to go home, and that's when he had the apple fall on his head underneath the tree, when he was isolating and socially distancing himself, and that's where he came up with the theorems for gravity and motion. So what can you create during this time? This could be some of the most productive time of your life. Maybe some of you want to make videos. Maybe you want to write. Maybe you have some way of expressing yourself. Now, you always said you would do this when you had time. Now you have some time. I would focus on creation. The future belongs to the creatives. The future belongs to the creatives. With all the jobs going to automation and AI, what makes you powerful is what's unlimited. The only unlimited resource on planet Earth is human potential. There is no limit to your creativity. There's no limit to your imagination. There's no limit to your determination, right? Use these now. Really tap into those powers, and you could be more creative. So what would you like to create? So clarity, you have care, you have creativity. You use this time to create. Another thing you can do is contribute. How can you contribute in a meaningful way? How can you give of your time or your talent or your treasure, one of those things, and help people in time of need? And again, if you don't feel wealthy, and I know it's a big challenge for so many people, just start with gratitude, because you can't feel gratitude and fear at the same time. Try counting all the things you have in your life that money can't buy. How many things do you have in your life? Just make a list of all the things you have in your life that money can't buy. And so, start from gratitude, because what you appreciate appreciates. What you appreciate appreciates. You have more of. And also, the other thing that's the antidote to fear, besides gratitude, is giving. So when I'm talking about contribution, when you're focusing on somebody else and helping somebody else, it's hard to feel bad for yourself. So how can you contribute, again, your time or your talent or your treasure to causes that could, even checking in on a neighbor, checking in with the elderly, people who could have some challenges right now. What can you do? Like right now, next week, I'm going to do a free class for students. Many of you have kids that are, in elementary school or middle school or high school, and school is canceled. So I'm going to teach online here, learning how to learn, because I think that's the most important subject for no matter what your age. You need to learn how to learn, because right now, businesses, the future of work, everything is changing. You have to relearn new careers, new jobs, new opportunities. And so I would say learning how to learn. So I'm going to do that for free. That's my way of contributing. Well, and this is even what we're doing with the book. I'm donating my author pre-launch proceeds all, to charity. We build schools everywhere from Guatemala to Kenya. We fund Alzheimer's research because my grandmother passed away of Alzheimer's. What can you do, in this time and make the most of it? So again, you have clarity, use this time for clarity, use this time for care, use this time to create and be creative, use this time to contribute. And if there's anything else that you could do, what else can you do to make this time well spent? So again, think about the story that you want to tell a year from now about this time, because surely a year will come, and did you lead? Did you learn? They were able to help people laugh during this time of maybe a lot of sadness. Were you able to live? And I would ask yourself those kind of questions. How can I improve my memory? That's the easiest thing to do, right? Go to quickbrain.com. Go to quickbrain.com right now and subscribe to our email list, and I will send you 3 videos on how to improve your memory. And you'll also be notified if you're on our email list. If you're not, that's how I let people know about our free student programs and everything else that we're doing. We are doing a company-wide sale right now at all our programs. We are offering at the lowest discount they've ever been. We obviously making donations for the situation of what's going on right now. And that's at quickbrain.com/butterfly, because I feel like we're going to emerge as a butterfly. And so, the story is like a little boy in the backyard comes across a caterpillar and, goes to the mom and say, "Mom, can I keep this caterpillar? Can I please keep this caterpillar?" Mom says, "Okay, as long as you care for it. He's your responsibility." So the mom gives him a mason jar, and he runs out, puts the caterpillar inside the jar, and puts some branches in there, puts some leaves in there. So the caterpillar just eats the leaves, grows really, really big. And then one day the caterpillar climbs up the branch and spins a cocoon around itself. And the boy's never seen anything like this. He is absolutely mesmerized. And then the cocoon, it just stays a cocoon for a while, and the boy's getting a little impatient, just watching every day. And finally there's a crack in the cocoon, a small little crack, and you can see the caterpillar trying to get out of the crack. And the boy is waiting, but the caterpillar is struggling. The caterpillar is really, really struggling. So the boy, wanting to help the caterpillar, runs inside the house, grabs a pair of scissors, walks back outside, because he knows he's not supposed to run with scissors, and clips open the hole, makes it a little bit bigger. And as soon as he does, the butterfly comes out, but it doesn't fly. It just stays grounded. And the butterfly looks a little bit weird, different than the boy expected. Its body is very swelled, and its wings are very shriveled, and it never is able to fly. And the boy is very sad and goes to the mother saying, "What's wrong with my butterfly?" And she's like, "Well, what did you do?" He said he clipped the cocoon open. And the mother looked at him and says, "You shouldn't have done that, because what happens is if you cut the cocoon open, the caterpillar never gains the strength to be able to become a butterfly." Meaning, scientifically, what happens in that small opening, the caterpillar pushes its way out, and what it does is it pushes the swelling from the body into the wings, and so it nourishes the wings, so the wings get very strong. And the metaphor is, right now we go through struggles, and we don't understand why we're going through these struggles, but through the struggle we gain strength. And my message for you right now, if you're struggling, that sometimes we have to go through these difficult times, and nobody wants to hear this because it's not positive. But I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm saying you could do it, and it's worth it. And sometimes life gets very hard, and the difficult times that are going on right now, they could diminish us, or they could define us, or these difficult times, they could develop us. Ultimately, we decide. Remember, life, as I talk about in the book, life is the C between the B and the D. Life is the C between the B and the D. B stands for birth, D stands for death. And C, life, comes down to a choice. And our life is a series of choices we've made up to this point. Where are we going to live? How are we going to work? Who are we going to spend time with? The choices of what we're going to eat. Or the choices of what we're going to read or not read, right? And so what I'm here to say is you could always, in the book, it's really 3 books in one at limitlessbook.com, shows you how to master your mindset, unleash your motivation, and upgrade your methods so you can learn anything faster. And when you join at the link that's here that I reposted at limitlessbook.com, I'm going to give you these 2 gifts. I'm going to give you a 10-day program on how to speed read and improve your memory. It's not our deep program. It's like the basics of speed reading and memory. So when the book arrives, you could finish this book. I want this to be the most read book of 2020, finished. Now, maybe not the best-selling book, but I want it to be the most finished book. And a couple weeks after the book comes out, I'm going to there's 10 parts to the book. There are 4 sections to the book. And we're going to do 1 week on every section. So I'm going to create a Limitless Book Club, and we're going to join on Zoom, where we're all going to be together, and I will record it for everybody also as well. Do I live in New York? I do live in New York. This is New York at rush hour. That's a Brit. This is New York at rush hour right now. It's insane. So my point is with the book is you get those gifts, and you get that 10-day program, and you get the 4 weeks of book, because I want to read it with you. And I'm going to show you during those 4 weeks how to remember what you read and how to apply what you read, because knowledge is not power. Knowledge is potential power. It only becomes power when we use it. And I'm going to show you, and we're going to do it together. So I would encourage you right now to go to limitlessbook.com. Remember that you have the power. You always have the power, because you have the power of choice. You control your mindset, you control your motivation, you control the methods that you use. And that's what this book is about, unlimiting the constraints of what holds you back. It's not about being perfect. Limitless is about advancing and progressing beyond what you currently believe is possible. And when that butterfly comes out, it's amazing, because your life is like that cocoon. That if a cocoon is broken by an outside force, life ends. But if a cocoon is broken by an inside force, life begins. Great things begin on the inside, and you have greatness inside of you. You have genius inside of you. You are absolutely limitless. And when is now the best time to make the choice to be that? And so let's do that together. The C's, again, for being a cocoon: get clarity, contribute. Make sure you contribute to people in a meaningful way. Use this time to be creative, and then use this for care. Self-care, it's not selfish. And use this for competency, capabilities. Use this time to level up. What's on your to-do list, but more importantly, what's on your to-learn list? What are you going to learn? You're going to emerge after a few weeks, a few months, whenever the time is for you. But are you going to be bitter, or are you going to be better? All right, can we take this mess and turn it into your message? That was my inspiration. My inspiration was desperation. I had a big learning challenge, and my passion became learning, and my purpose has been teaching other people how to learn. And that's why I wrote this book for you. It's the best of the best I know on how to get your life together, how to catch up from suffering and struggle, how to get your mind right, how to focus and flow when you need to be productive. So go to limitlessbook.com, and remember, life is a choice. I wish today, this weekend, be full of lots of life, lots of love, lots of laughter, and always lots of learning. I love you all. Be good. Remember, butterfly effect also. A butterfly flapping its wings in New York City could create a tsunami of change across the world. That's how dynamic systems work. And you flapping your wings right now, it could have a positive impact also on the world. Just like as viruses spread, so does fear, but so does hope, so does compassion, so does love, so does wisdom, so does kindness. And kindness is free, guys, so sprinkle that stuff everywhere. Take care.